Ministry and Marriage podcast. I want to thank you all for joining us on this evening. We have some wonderful co-hosts that's going to be with us. And first, I want to introduce my co-host with this wonderful uh, dynamic event, my wife, Tracy Kreff.
Hey everybody, it is Tracy Kraft. I am here with my husband and this wonderful couple here with Mixing It Up Marriage and Ministry. So we hope you guys are ready to mix it up.
Yeah. Well, what we want to do first is we want to get an introduction. We have the Harrises with us, but I want them to introduce themselves. We'll start with the first man on my left.
Amen. I'm Myron Harris here, Greensboro native. Not too much to say about myself that you won't find out once we dive into the podcast. So again, I'm thankful to be here, and I'm just gonna be honest as I can. Keep it hot, as we like to say.
There we go. And next,
And I am Patrice Chanel Harris. This is my husband.
she's trying to be
And
all shy, y'all.
we in here tonight, so we out here.
Amen. Well, listen, y'all, we are going to be talking on a hot topic tonight. We're going to be talking from a subject of blending a ready-made family. We know that that's an issue that is it is so common for it to be taken wrong out of context. I've heard so many different twists and sides and angles, and I'm not going to talk much about it, but what we're going to do is we're going to dive right into this conversation. So listen, before we get started, if you will, please invite some people, tag some people, share this live. Please do that, because near the end of it, we will take a few minutes for some comments and questions. We want to open it up because this is a format. All right, let's dive into it. So first of all, welcome to our podcast. You guys are our first guest on this. So we're thankful for you all. As I began to prepare for this podcast, the Lord gave me some specific instructions, and I just began to type them out, a mission, a vision, because I'm seeing so many couples I'm seeing so many couples in this thing that are they're losing their way. They're ending in divorce over things that they really didn't have to. And so what the Lord put in my spirit was, I want to first deal with blending a ready-made family. So for those that may not know what I'm talking about, coming into a marriage where one spouse may not have children and the other one do, or both. In my wife and I case, both of us had kids. So now it's blending, kind of like double family, So what I like to do first is I want to ask you guys, either one of you can answer. Just tell us a little bit about how y'all met.
I usually tell the story first.
Okay, well then let's hear it.
No, with that being said, I'm going to let
he deferring. Okay.
He's trying to switch it up on me.
Yeah, right under the lights.
But I'll help you out as you go along.
Well, I'm gonna make it short and sweet. We met in high school.
Oh wow.
So we've been knowing each other for a long time. But he can take it from here. He's got a whole story.
I'll keep it as straight to the point. Yeah, like she said, we met in high school. I was friend zoned for a long time.
We just talked about friend zone. Can you talk?
Thank you. Thank you. So she friend zoned me for a long time, and I chased her to and fro, even in church, out of church, in church, out of church. But when the time came, I was just like, I'm just gonna go ahead and take this shot. Give her a little kiss on the cheek, and then the next thing we know, here we are. So like I said, we've known each other for how long? Maybe 15 years. Yeah, 15, and now we're finally married. She was my high school sweetheart.
Well, same here.
Yes.
Same here.
So I remember the first day that I saw her, and I don't know if I told y'all the story, but I remember the first day I saw her in the mall.
Even if you did, the world didn't hear it, so let's hear it. Look at it. She's like, oh God.
So I mean, like she said, I've known her for a while now. But we were in the mall, Four Seasons town, and it wasn't as strict as it is now. You could just chill in the mall,
right?
And it wasn't so, now it's kind of locked down. But me and my boy was chilling in the mall. A friend of hers, Robert Bass, and shout out. And we were standing on the second floor, and I remember because I've chased her for some time. I watched her and chased her.
She getting shy, y'all.
Washington Chase is down. Just one day, we're in the mall. I just see her coming down the escalator, and I remember her wearing her little her jean shorts. That's when the jean shorts with the short shorts were in style. She had a little tube socks on and like
You
a
remember
multicolor.
everything.
I'm trying to tell you, that's how real it was.
So now you see,
Wow.
baby
Yeah,
ain't the
that's how
only
real
one.
it was.
Yeah.
And I said, my boy, I said, Rob, who is that? And that they were friends. So he already said, man, that's just just Chanel. I'm like, okay.
Just.
And just right, and then friend zone. So it's all good. I
Uh,
got it now though.
there you go. There you go. But my wife and I, we grew up together in the same
Yes.
neighborhood. You know, we were little kids. I think as far back as I can remember, we was at Union Hill Elementary, like
Yes.
kindergarten, first grade,
Yep.
something like that. You know, she was that girl that everybody wanted. You know,
Mhm.
I wasn't that dude. You know what I'm saying? But I got her though.
That's right.
There we go. I
All
got
that
her.
matters in the end.
That's it,
Yep.
man. That's it. She's
Mhm.
mine. So I got one more question I want to ask before my wife. My wife has some stuff she want to ask as well. How long have y'all been married?
A little over a year now. So February 8th was our 1 year anniversary.
Yes. Woo, woo. 1 year.
Yeah, you guys done some traveling too, have you?
Yeah.
What all countries have y'all seen?
Well, we just went to
Spain.
Spain for our honeymoon right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that's
We're
lucky
blessed to
y'all,
make it
y'all
back
made
before
it. Yeah,
everything.
y'all
made it
made
back
it.
over to the States before the pandemic hit. So Spain, we went to Barcelona, Spain.
before it started.
Where else, baby? Yeah, all year we did a Mediterranean cruise, so all up through the Mediterranean region.
Okay, because I remember seeing
Oh,
pictures
wow.
that you
That's
guys
awesome.
posted.
Yeah, man, I can't. La Spezia was one of the places. Monte Carlo, that was one of the places that you really.
Yeah, that's one of
I
the
like
places
that
I
one.
want
Yeah,
to see.
that's where they have the they do the race through the city. They drive like with the Formula.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to say the wrong thing, but those they drive through the
Right,
city.
right.
Full
Oh
speed.
wow!
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So we
We
got to see
watched
that.
the changing of the guard there.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
That's a
Changing the
thing.
guards. Yeah.
Oh wow!
They do it every day. It's a big thing. I was like,
Oh,
you gotta
man.
do this
Yeah,
every day.
Parade through the city.
It really is. I did a message on that.
You sure did.
I preached on that. So
I can only imagine.
yes, the changing of the guard that
That
was
was
my
the topic,
and
yeah.
yeah, so I had to study that, but it is huge.
Yeah,
It
intense.
is huge. Yes.
You
Yeah.
better not cross their path.
No. Mm-mm.
Push you out the way.
My lord.
So, Myron, my question for you.
We diving in now, y'all.
Yeah.
Come on down.
So we're gonna get to, because the thing is that we're having a conversation about real life. You know, we're born again believers. We're saved. You know, people look at us and tend to say we don't. We don't have any issues, struggles, and things like that.
It's a lot.
It is a lie. So my question for you, because you're the one who actually had the children,
Yes.
you had the children when you got married, is what were your requirements? So what were your requirements and of the woman that you wanted to bring into your children's life?
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't think I've ever been asked that one.
We got some more for you.
Yeah, that's a really good. What are my requirements? You know, I really now that I think about it, I didn't really have anything like a requirement, but I knew that I wanted to make sure that before the right one meets my kids, that I want to make sure that not only was my kids ready, but I was ready. And I didn't want to bring my wife in too soon. And then next, God forbid, she gets to know my kids and then she's gone. So I think for me, that might have been a requirement. I'm gonna wait to make sure that we are that is serious. I just want to make sure it was serious before I introduced my kids to Chanel.
So you didn't immediately.
Right. I didn't immediately just say, hey, this is the lady that I'm dating.
Right.
I wanted them.
No, I was around sometime, but as a friend.
Right. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Thank
So
you.
they
Thank
didn't
you.
know.
They didn't know. Right.
Okay.
It was a friend. This is my friend Chanel. But nothing too serious. Not yet. Because I didn't want that.
Right.
I've seen that, and I didn't want that
Right.
from my end.
That's
it's important
awesome.
to guard your kids too.
Yeah,
Right.
it is. And because most of the time you hear about the woman having the children,
Right.
and the man may not have children or both have children. So it was interesting to be able to ask that question to a male
Mhm.
person who already had the children of what you wanted or what you thought would be best for your children. And that
Right.
makes sense because that's how I was a mother, a single mother. So that's how I felt as a single mother, is that, you know, I want to make sure that this is gonna last.
Right.
You know.
Mhm.
And even for me, I didn't want to meet him too fast and be like, "Hey, I'm with your daddy," and
Right.
then it not, something not working because we went through all that. So now this is over. We're not doing this. We went through all of that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we had to-
Explain.
we had to get through those.
You talking about in the
Skills.
beginning?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think
So
he
was
even
it-
told my
was it-
mom. She broke up with me before, way before this, and I was like, "I'm telling my mama that." So,
Oh, so
yeah.
you the snitch.
Right. I was
My
like,
wife
I
the snitch for
wasn't
that.
I wasn't even gonna
Yes.
do that.
We'll
but-
have we call it heated fellowship. We'll have an argument, and then my mama called me. Now you know. How do you even know about this? Tracy called me. It's like, Lord. Were you going to say something?
Yes, because the question for you, Chanel, was so what were your thoughts? I mean, did you ever think about that you would actually marry someone that had children? Was that a possible? Well, I know that it happened, but before, was that something you even entertained?
It was because he was not the first guy that I've been with that had children or a child. So it's definitely something that crossed my mind at some point. And then just living in the time that we live in now,
Yes.
it's almost not completely, but it's almost inevitable that somebody's gonna have some kids somewhere.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I was okay with it. As long as, everything else was good. If I can come in and we can all get along, all around. So, and thank God that that's the case. So, amen.
Amen.
Oh yeah.
Amen to all of that.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Absolutely. That is something that's really big. And I know for us, ours wasn't as smooth sailing as we would like for it to have been. So it can be a difficult thing. And to be able to just be on one accord, because I know as a mother with children, to trust the other person with your child, that's big. That's big. That's really big.
I could say that, of course, it was. I wanted, of course, everything to go smooth, but you always hear stories, the horror stories,
Yes.
and so that was, I guess, my fear of getting when I saw that we were getting serious. So I was like, okay, so now I'm gonna have to really meet the kids. Now we're gonna have to flip it,
Right.
so it's not just, hey, this is my friend Chanel. This is about to be your bonus mommy Chanel. But so yeah, hearing the stories of different experiences from other people, you definitely have to kind of you take what you need from it, but at the same time you kind of gotta put the other stuff to the side and
What they say,
go
eat
off
the-
of your experience
Eat
and
the
what's
meat
in
and throw
front
away
of
the
you.
bone.
That's
What they
it.
say.
Eat the meat, throw away the bone. I'm a firm believer in, when people are talking, I'm a gleaner.
Yes. I call myself that.
Really? So I'm a gleaner, but one thing about being a gleaner is you got to know how to separate the wheat from the tare. So you got to learn how to separate what's good for you versus what you need to throw away that's bad for you. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm gonna just dive in real quick, and I think that's what kind of had me a little nervous, and that's why I kind of hesitated with the introducing her, because the stories, you keep men tend to get a bad rep when you are a single man with kids, and like, oh, I don't want to, you don't date that man, he got kids. That's first thing, he got kids. Oh, he got kids. I'm like, God damn, I got
So let me ask you then, because once again, y'all, we this is a time of just total transparency, and we pray that this is helping you all. Once again, this is Mixing It Up, Marriage and Ministry podcast, and we are here with Myron Harris and Chanel Harris. what I wanted to ask you about that, because this is the part that, well, it's kind of like a two-part question. On your part, the first part is it like you have your kids full time, or is it kind of a split thing, or okay? And then the next thing was the evidently you were optimistic to a certain point, more guarding your kids and then having to guard Chanel, you know, because we know that boys oftentimes will get attached quicker than girls. Girls are, this is my daddy. We went through that with my oldest, you know, my oldest is a daddy's girl.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, this is my daddy. But boys, that woman, and what I'm going to say is no, not to their biological at all. But boys sometimes will, whatever female that comes around, you're a pretty young lady, you know what I mean? And you have charisma and stuff like that. And it just draws little boys. We were little boys, you know, and I'm not, you know, they innocent little fellas, but it just draws them. So were you kind of cautious of, man, I'm not sure about this because I don't want them to get attached and then something go wrong? Or was it just set in your mind, I know God said this is my wife?
Well, I think it was more or less like you're saying. I was guarding them, and it's from past experience. Right. Past experience. Of course, I was, you know, well, not of course, but I was dating a young lady before I met Chanel. Okay. And then, you know, like you said, they be attached, and then things didn't work out. Right. So it wasn't something that I was just like, because I grew into that mentality. So it wasn't just like something that I knew to do overnight. I kind of figured it out. You know,
That's
I figured that out.
That's why we're here tonight.
So yes, I
That's
figured
exactly
that out.
why we're here.
And I said, well, you know, I just want to make sure that I protect my kids. Right. You know, and like you said, I didn't even think about little boys being drawn to the woman with me. You know, just because she's a woman in the picture, but I just knew that I didn't want to rush things. Right. I didn't want to rush it.
Because I'm often teaching that males or men are 90% physical, whereas females are 90% emotional. That role kind of takes a turn a little bit when it deals with parenting, because as males, we want to be loved and we want that motherly love. And that's as a child. And the young girls, in other words, little girls grow up playing house, you know, baby dolls, Ken, Barbie, whatever. Little boys, we grow up playing Batman, Robin, police, and this and that and another. But have you ever noticed, I don't know if this ever happened to you, but it did with me and about every one of my cousins and friends. I had this one cousin, I ought to call her name too. I hope she's watching. But I had this one cousin, she would go out and make mud pies. And these mud pies would look so daggone good, man. I mean, it was all kind of toxins and and she would serve them to us. And guess what our crazy tails would do? We would eat it because she served it. And so evidently, and I'm not a psychiatrist or nothing, but evidently there's something in us that wants to be loved. That's the cause of so many males going into depression and things like that, is they're not feeling loved, appreciated, valued, or what have you. And so that's what I was saying. So, and once again, that's why we're having this podcast, is because I want the world to hear it from somebody other than us. Right. You know, the Pulse Church, High Point, they hear it from us all the time. We've traveled, we've done a lot of ministry, a lot of cities and states and stuff like that. And they've heard our testimony. But I want marriages out there that may be struggling, because I often hear, my kids become before him. They were here first. And I hear the kids, you ain't my mama, you ain't my daddy. But what if we can teach parents how to be parents, and parents can teach kids how to be kids? You know, so that's why I wanted to ask these questions. You got something?
Yeah, I mean, because that whole thing about, you know, and it's so crazy because you know, we've gone through, like I said, I think we've gone through some of the rough patches.
Ooh, yeah.
Some of the rough patches of blended families. But I remember having a conversation with my sons, because I have 3 boys that I birthed, and then I gained 2 daughters and a son. So I remember telling my boys, because with men is a whole different ball game, because it's not their dad. And it may be that way for boys, you know, that's not my mom or whatever. But from my standpoint, it was the boys who were like, that ain't my daddy. He ain't gonna tell me what to do. And
But
especially,
you know what though? I'm sorry to cut you off, but with the I say hours. I've never used that word step. I don't like that word. I
oh no, we
despise
don't do
it.
that.
What's that word you use? I heard you use it.
Bonus.
Bonus. I love
Bonus
that.
mom.
I was
Yeah.
going to post it in an advertisement, but I couldn't remember what it was. But I love that. Just like we have some covenant keepers here at the church. They don't use the word in law. They use in love. Well, actually, it's one family don't even use none of that. It's just brother, sister.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, he made that laugh in one of my tech guys. I thank God for my production team.
Amen.
But with everything with what you all are talking about right now, and even what you were saying about the boys,
Mhm.
our men now, they're grown now. When I
Yes.
came into my wife's life, her youngest son was 3, getting ready to turn 4.
He was, no, you were 3.
You was 3. It was right at your 4th
3
birthday.
going on 4.
And my youngest daughter, my baby girl, was 2, getting ready to turn 3. And so it was just like we coming together with new, you know.
Yeah.
And so I've watched them grow into some fine young men, and she's watched the girls grow into some fine young women. My thing though is that the fellas, they kind of, especially the oldest one, Ladidrick, he really just, because we what I do is I find a way to bond. And this guy was like 12 years old listening to Scarface and stuff. I walked in and I looked, I said, what are you doing? And you got to remember, this is 2003.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And this 12-year-old in 2003 is listening to our stuff. I'm like, what? But he's a music head. So we had that connection. So I was able to connect with him. Now, Tevin, the younger one, he just loved to play games and stuff. So I pulled games up on my phone and handed it to him. Now, he was kind of like, you know, but once he came around, he came around. Now, it was those girls that was a little challenge, though, because once again, they daddy's girls, you know, so it's kind of like, who is this woman? You know, this woman coming in, and you know what I mean? And so I'd like to ask you on that. If you can just tell how, because I've seen it, but I want the world to know. Once again, we're transparent.
How what?
How that was with you as far as kind of finding your place.
Woo. It was interesting because even though, like, I mean, I grew up with a blended family, but it was just, it never seemed blended. Like I never saw any of those or experienced those things. But for me with the girls it was really a lot of prayer. It was really a lot of prayer. You know, when you when you have them, you know, you just have to do what you can, you know. When we had them, had to bathe them and do their hair, and you know, just try to find things in common that they like to do, and for me it was just being a mother, you know, just really being a mother, doing the motherly duties, making sure that they had what they needed, that they were good. So it was, I mean, it has been a journey. It has been a journey, even though that they're grown, you know. Now we've been together for, it's 18 years this year, you guys. Wow. Yeah. So 18 years. So we've had a lot of years to just kind of you know, figure it out. And that's what we've had to do.
Go ahead and finish
Yeah.
asking.
Well, I was going to ask.
Go ahead.
Yes.
So is it safe to say that it's similar for kids and for boys and girls when they're meeting someone differently in the relationship? Then, like with boys meeting a new
New male.
Right. Thank you. Boys meeting a new male, and then daughters meeting a new female. Is it safe to say it's kind of similar, but just
Well, it
No,
is.
it's different.
Look, you hear it. Yeah.
well, okay.
But the reason I'm saying it is because when you, like with me, I didn't come in trying to be their daddy. I knew my role. You know what I mean? I wanted to earn their respect and friendship first. And before the deep people get started. I know you can't be parents and friends, if that makes sense. I'm trying not to go deep on that, but in other words, you got to have that level of respect. Now, I do have a friendship relationship with all of the kids, and I want them all to feel like they can come talk. So now it's like the fellas, they'll call me, or whatever, and ask me certain things, or I have one that'll call me, I need to talk to you. And every time they call me and say that, that's a blessing to me. I feel real good that I've earned that type of respect with him. And I don't mean respect as in fear respect. I mean respect as, okay, I feel confident and comfortable in going talking to him. So that was on my end. But on her end, that's why she's like, no. So go ahead.
No, I mean, because the thing is that, in my place has always been, I'm not trying to take your mother's place.
Right.
Because I know how I would feel if it was me. You carry them, you birth them, you go through all that, raising them. You don't want nobody else to be coming in talking about they ain't your mama, right? So for me, it was important that it was understood that I'm not trying to be your mom, but I want to be that second person that's available for you to know that I'm here for you, that, anything that you need pertaining to, because, you can be a daddy's girl all you want to, but some things daddy can't talk about.
Right.
Because daddy don't know.
Right.
So it's important to be available for them to seek out those female things that they need to talk about. I want them to know that I'm here, as well as having their mom.
But it's also effective communication too.
Yes.
We just had a little situation to come up not long ago, and come to find out it was just all a breakdown in communication. And so once certain things were said, it was able to be responded to in a understanding and nurturing and loving fashion.
Yes.
And so what it did, it just really paved the way for the whole future, so it's so much in this. You got to have some effective communication, Matter of fact, our baby girl is on right now. Hey, Courtney.
Hey, Cole.
I call her Munchkin. That's my Munchkin, y'all.
I call her Strawberry.
Courtney, tell your sister to come on, and everybody else. Let me ask you something. Well, we kind of answered this next question I had, because I was going to ask you about some of the challenges. Have y'all faced any challenges that we haven't discussed? Either. Y'all side-eyeing over here. Because, we've kind of talked about several of them, but because once again, I just want people to be blessed and know that they're not the only one maybe dealing with this stuff.
I think for us, the challenge, I don't even know if it's necessarily a challenge, just because it's just new.
Let's use the word challenge, change the word challenge to obstacle or speed bump or.
Yeah, just because it's new.
Okay.
For us, the fact that he came in with boys, I often kind of sit back with certain things because I'm like, you the man. Like, they're boys. So a lot of times I'm just like, I'll peep around like, got that? Okay. You need that? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, like certain things, I'm just like, okay, you're the dad. These are boys. I think it may have been different if it was, girls. It would be just a little bit different.
No,
just like worse. You said,
it would be worse because the girls, they flock to the daddy.
Well, as far as the connection with a woman and being able to help them.
Right.
The conversation.
Because a man can't teach girls how to be a woman.
Right. So I could be there. And
right.
Again, we use the bonus. I like that word because that's what I am. Like you said, I'm not your mama. I'm not trying to be your mom because they have a mom. She's she's there. She does what she has to do as a mom. She's doing her thing.
Y'all have a good relationship?
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
We do.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. That is phenomenal. I've seen a lot of relationships, man.
Well, yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. As far as you hear the horror story.
We may end up doing a part 2 on this. I'm looking at the time, and I'm like,
not trying to bring us back on the show, but that's a whole story in itself.
Yeah, because this stuff needs to be talked about. See, here's the problem. I don't care if it's church, community or whatever, nobody is talking about this stuff. So then you have couples. How old are you?
30, or I had to get 34.
30. I'd be doing
I
that
had to
too.
think
I
about the thing.
walked around saying, I'm 47 for 6 months. My wife said, babe, you are not 47. You 48. It's like, I stood there doing the math.
Yes, I am.
Chanel, how old are you?
33.
Okay, so y'all are early 30s. And y'all are, that's the reason why I wanted y'all on this podcast tonight too. I told y'all last night. It's because y'all are young, but y'all are walking into a lifelong commitment. God refers to marriage as an institution.
Yes.
It's not but 3 mentioned in the Bible, and marriage is one of them, you know, and so it's very sacred. And then the fact that y'all come, and then you come into this and you're walking in as a mother with no kids, which we're going to get to that in a minute. Well, let me say a mother of none that you birthed out, but you walk into a role with a husband that is by the way, man, phenomenal job. I watch you and your fellas when y'all and your wife posting pictures on Facebook. I be seeing it.
Thank you.
But that's a proud wife, and you have very good reason to be proud.
She is.
You know,
she actually brought my brother to tears because of a birthday comment she made about one of our oldest son, and how, you know, she I can't remember word for word, but just how, you know, she said our son is turning.
There we go.
Just the fact that she said our son, my
Right.
brother was like, man, baby.
But see, us men, we don't get credit, especially in your role. It's not. It's so many single male fathers out there, or remarried, that are raising their kids, but they're not getting that credit. You know, we don't give, especially from the other men.
Right.
You know,
that's
so that,
good.
so
really
I mean, I remember right hand. I salute you. I do it left hand.
That was one of the things that, too, I mean, I say it all the time, that attracted me to him even more.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, I mean,
Go
you
ahead.
see him with his kids. Oh, you doing what you supposed to do?
Yeah.
You the
there's
good
a whole
one.
lot of them.
Because you know, I mean, you know, we see all kinds of different scenarios. So, and then, you know, being connected with people and family who don't have that same thing. Sometimes, you know, to be able to see it through Myron was a
Because
relief.
y'all are teachers
Really?
and you
Yes.
are coach.
Mm.
So you kind of step in the role of father to a whole lot of other ones too. Because when you take on coaching youth league, AAU, whatever it may be, all the way up in the high schools and stuff, college, even in the pro leagues,
I received that.
you hear so many good. You hear so many people referring to their coaches as what you see.
Pontiff Hill, he just put, I'm not a stepfather, I'm a father that stepped up.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's my
awesome.
covering, y'all.
Yes,
That's what I'm
That's
talking
good.
about.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
One of the
That's
greatest
awesome.
lessons he taught me is every leader is not every covering is not a father. You know, and that changed my whole perspective on life. With that, man, I'm getting great. I'm learning more than just how to preach.
Man.
You know, I'm learning how to be a man. I'm learning how to be a healed man, and stuff like this is part of that journey.
Right.
I'm not gonna talk
I think that's a
about him, I'll
journey
be
that you're
crying.
going to learn. I think that's something we learn as men through until death, how to be a man, because
Right.
like I even said now, I'm a man, but I'm still learning how to be a man. So
Now watch this, and you are a man who's learning how to be a man. That's teaching young men how to
raising
be men.
Right. Exactly.
You see
So-
all these different roles that we
Yes.
wear, you know, and so that goes back to what I was saying. That's the reason why I give, man. You never know. You might have a player you look up be playing in the NBA or NFL or something. They say, man, I remember Coach Harris when I was playing. He was like a dad to me. You know, he would, when I was going through, he would listen to me, or if I had a bad practice,
Right.
because I had that coach in my life.
And I mean, for my dad, my earthly dad, Alonzo Harris, God rest his soul, I was able to see that through some of my athletes whose parents were coached by him.
See,
So I've seen that firsthand. You know, they were,
Right.
what's going on, Coach Harris? They won't talk about me. They'll talk about my dad.
yeah,
And your dad, he coached me at Windsor Center, blah blah. I'm like, dang, really?
right.
And now their kids are playing middle school football, and my dad is coaching them. Well, me and my dad are coaching them. So I mean, that's real. I mean, it happens like that. To a lot of people, to the world, it happens like that.
You married into
kids
some good. You married into some good blood,
and vice versa. I married some good blood. Shoot.
Because looking at you guys on Facebook, and we've known Chanel for a long time, and of course we got the privilege of being able to get to know you. But just watching you guys, even with your extended families, it seems like one family. I mean, and that's really awesome to see you with your parents and him with his parents and you guys coming together. And it seems like it just really goes well.
It has flowed pretty flowed.
Flowed.
It's gone together pretty well. That made me think about when we did the live with the boys a little while ago. And the youngest said that about my parents. He's like, they don't seem like, they're not our grandparents. They just seem like they are our grandparents.
Right.
And, so that's coming from a 10-year-old at the time. So it's a good feeling to be able to blend that way.
Because I'm gonna tell you, and that just made me think about our own situation, because when my husband and I got together, my mom had Alzheimer's. She was in the early stages of Alzheimer's, and my dad was taking care of her. And so my two youngest children didn't really get to know them. And so both of them are now deceased. And basically, Marlon's mom has taken on my children, the two that I had prior to having the last one with him. She's taken them on. And to my middle son, Tevin, who's 21, you are not going to tell him that is not his grandma. No. When I tell you, he literally cuss some folk out in front of me. I mean, really, because they were disrupting his grandma. I mean, he was cursing. And I was looking at him like, I didn't know whether or not to be happy or to punch him in the face, because I'm like, is he really doing this?
Men are protectors.
But they disturbed his grandmother and he was ready to fight. And you're not going to tell her that these are not her grandchildren and that I'm not her daughter, and I love that. It's a blessing. I always say it's a privilege to have one mother, but then to have two. And I can say that I have a mother in her, and it's a blessing. So whenever you can come together, because we didn't come together well with our families in the beginning.
Ooh. God is good. I'm gonna just say that.
He is.
Another podcast.
We did not, but God has so made that thing go so well, and so it is an honor. It's a privilege, to be in a blended family. So many people put their noses up and things like that, but you have the opportunity to be something in somebody's life, an addition. And to help. So to have two moms or two dads or four grandparents, you know what I'm saying? That's awesome.
Yeah. Listen, y'all are here with us on Mixing It Up podcast, Marriage in Ministry. We are here we're being graced with the presence of Myron Harris and Chanel Harris. We're talking about blending a ready-made family. Before we go any further, I do want to take a second and make you know what? No, we'll do this at the end because I want y'all to talk about it, express yourself as well. But I want to give you a little bit more time than just a couple minutes. You know what I mean?
I do have a yes.
I was going to say, yeah, you had a question.
So how did the two of you deal with discipline in your home?
Oh, we gonna get
good
real
one.
tonight.
That's a
so
good
how,
one.
so
That's
how
a
do you
good
deal with
one.
discipline?
How do you deal with this? You want to go first?
Let's see. How can we say this? I am like naturally a disciplinary. I just am.
She is.
Really?
I just am.
Oh,
I am.
Wow.
I am.
But you can tell she has kind of like
and I think
an aggressive type
She does,
personality.
and it's short,
And I'm not saying that in a bad
Yeah.
way.
and it's short too.
I love hard, and I'm a tough love type of person.
Oh, that's me.
Well, y'all sound
Um,
just alike.
Yes.
Yeah. So with me, I'm like, get it quick. Whereas for my husband, it can take a couple times, and that can sometimes I'll sit back for as long as I can,
Right. Right.
and then I'll say, "Okay, what do you say now?" you know, what your daddy say
Yeah.
type deal. So like he'll say it, and then if it doesn't happen, I kind of look at him for a minute like, it ain't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. I was raised old school. My
And
mama,
so-
my dad would tell you one time,
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
You better be dying it for whatever they've told you to do not to have happened.
What
I mean,
you
and
say.
it's I do it in love, but I am the quicker
Yeah, she
one,
is.
and I'm a little more firm, and it comes from teaching too,
yeah,
for me anyway.
yeah.
Like that as a teacher.
She's honest. She's being honest. I do kind of, but I'm not a pushover per se. But and I guess it comes from just having my kids with me by myself for some time. And to be honest, my oldest son is my bonus son. A lot of people don't know that, but and
So wait, hold on. Help us understand.
what?
No, I don't want to go into no details. I just want to make sure I'm following correct. So the oldest son is a bonus.
We're all a bonus family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
all
we're not going.
together.
Yeah, we don't want to
Okay.
go sensitive
Right,
details.
right.
We're gonna keep it classy.
Okay. Well, so I have a soft spot. You know,
Okay,
I have
okay.
a soft spot, and because of that, I guess it's just I don't know. I mean, but I'm thankful that my wife she's quick with it
Yeah.
to bring the reel them back to say, hey, get stepping.
I think I kind of see what you're saying, because you're taking circumstances and situations into consideration, and so at times you tend to be a little, I don't want to say soft, I'll say softer or a little more lenient. Let's put it
Yeah.
Get
like that.
lenient, yeah,
Yeah,
lenient.
I don't ever
Right.
want to use the word soft with a
Right, yeah.
man, you know.
We're not
but
We're not
like I ain't soft, but really, and so because with me, what's wild is with me, with the boys, well, they men now. Our baby is 16, but with the men, with my fellas, I'll tell them to do something. I expect it done. I want to hear, hold on, wait a minute. I don't want to hear that. That's not how I was raised. But they mama, they know they can get a little. But with the girls, I'm you. You know what I mean? I'm, well, you know, maybe this going on, that going on. So, no, you said, dude, you know. So it's, once again, I don't know what
Yeah.
that thing is called, but
Yeah,
I get it.
I
I get
don't know why. I guess like my wife's saying, she's just she's
but there's
just
got to be that balance, though.
Yeah, and then I'm thankful that we do have that balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Because
Yeah.
I was going to ask about that. I was going to, because I know I grew up in a blended family. When my mom and my dad, when they separated, my dad remarried, and the woman he married had a son. And his name is Chevier. Me and Chevier, we called each other brother from day one. Didn't know where their relationship was going, but we've called each other brother, and there's not a drop of blood that connects us.
Mhm.
But everybody that knows us know that's my brother, and vice versa. You know what I mean? And then on the flip side, when my mom remarried, her husband had a son.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So it was kind of like just blended all the way around. And so I just kind of grew up adjusting and adapting. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so it was always one that was going to be a little more of the disciplinarian,
Mhm.
and then it was one that was a little bit more passive than aggressive. And as a child, I learned real early who was who. I learned who I could get away with what with. I learned who to go to ask for what. You know, which that's something we'll talk about again.
I like that. I'm passive aggressive.
Yeah, well, you know, you got those different personalities. You got
Passive
aggressive,
aggressive.
passive aggressive. Yeah.
That's good though. I mean, because even for even for us, it's the thing of boys are under their mamas normally. For me, I have mama's boys. I do, and CJ. He's a mama's boy, but he's not really up under me. Tevin is the one who will wake up, come into my office, and kiss me on my forehead every day. And if he don't, I'm looking, saying, "What's the deal?"
Every day
Something
she
is
cooks
wrong.
dinner, Tevin to eat, say thanks, Mom.
Yeah. And he now CJ is even doing it. So, but so you have it's that whole thing of, and like you were saying, because I can identify with you, Myron, is that you have that thing where you spend that time with them. And so some things that the other person may not let go.
Right.
Yeah, let slip by. You'll let slip by because y'all been doing it, just seem natural.
Right.
And okay. But in all actuality, they know they taking advantage of you.
And that could be it. Though.
And his oldest son, our oldest son, did call him out on it one time.
He did. And I was like, dang.
With the younger one.
I was like,
He was
dang,
like,
maybe I do need
What he
this.
say? He shall be disobeying you.
He said, no, he didn't say that.
Yes, he did.
He said, he showed don't, what did he do?
He shall be disobedient.
That's what he said. He didn't say you. He showed.
Hey, sometimes
And he checked me too, and I
they'll get
was like,
slick.
good gracious.
Yeah, they'll get slick sometimes. I know my
But then I
16-year-old
had
did
to-
it one time. I forgot what he said.
Oh,
He got real
gosh.
slick.
He is the king of the mouths.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, he got real slick.
He's slick.
But he's been doing that. I mean, he's his mother's child, though,
Mhm.
And he's the first time he did that. You said I tried to hurt.
I heard that.
The first time he did it, he was young, man. I mean, he was like maybe 3. And before I realized what happened, I done punched him. He went flying across.
Mhm.
I mean, it wasn't abuse, but wait a minute,
Wait
Jack.
a minute, yeah.
I run this right here, not you.
You don't
But
got
he
a
just-
little
he's so
swole
quick,
in your
though.
chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, CJ's real quick. You gotta watch what we say. You see what they doing to Kurt Franklin right now.
Mhm.
I hate that, but as Christians, we're not supposed to discipline our children.
Well,
Y'all know that. We're not
Let me
supposed to.
just make this public service announcement that I beats kids, not
Oh.
just mine, but others.
You better
too.
clarify that. The feds might be watching.
I will whoop they behinds if they out of order. Let me tell you.
Right.
Absolutely. I believe in it. And it's so funny. My nephew posted, I think it was yesterday on Facebook. He said he grew up getting whoopings. I hadn't seen nobody put whoopings out there in a long
I
time.
haven't
He
heard
grew
that
up
word in
getting
a long time
whoopings.
either. Whoopings.
And he said,
Showing up.
and he said, when
Whooping.
you look at this generation, you can tell you
Right.
didn't get no whoopings,
Whoopings.
right?
Whoopings.
You ain't getting no
Whoopings.
whoopings. But I mean, even the Bible says if you spare the rod, you spoil the child.
Right.
God chastens them that He loves. That means He beats your behind.
Mhm.
I mean, and sometimes it feels like He literally took a belt and beat
Right.
you, and your feelings are
Mhm.
hurt. So I mean, it's all a part of life, and
Right.
I just feel like those who, to each his own. But
But it's discipline when it's in love.
It
Love's
is.
not gonna let you hurt nobody.
Right.
That's right.
It's
good.
abuse
That's
when
good.
it's not in
Definitely.
love.
That's
when it's
right.
anger,
Mhm.
and when it's at that point, your intent is to hurt
Mhm.
and inflict pain and misery. Let me ask this
That's
question.
good. That's real good.
Amen. How have both of your families responded? I mean, I know from just seeing because we know each other, but just for the world, how have, like with your family, how did they respond, or how receptive to the fact of you getting or marrying a man that have kids, and then
Ooh.
how was your family as far as, well, she don't have kids, is she gonna know how, just anything? So either or. I mean, I want to hear both answers, but
Yeah.
whoever want to lead off.
I think my family was a little more. My family's how you describe them? They're they're just free spirited. I guess that's a good way to describe them. So, I mean, me getting married, they were just, they were happy for me, just, and I mean, I'm gonna leave it at that. They were just happy. Yeah. You want to add? Okay. All right.
How was your family?
My family they were fine. If they had any issues or concerns, they didn't tell me.
Well, looking at the pictures and stuff, look like everybody was elated.
Well, yeah. When we got together, it was joy and happiness and acceptance and everything. They accepted Myron and the boys right away. So, like I said, if they had some issues, I don't know. They hit it well. If it was anything, I think my parents are just always going to be parents. You tell somebody, you tell them that you're gonna get married to somebody that's got kids. They probably felt it within themselves, like, oh look, my baby about to have some babies. But I think they trusted me. they raised me well, I think. And
parents are very discerning.
Yeah,
that made our relationship, well, for me on my end, a lot better, knowing that her parents received my kids just as much as they received me as well.
I understand
that made that took a whole load off of my shoulders.
Absolutely.
It's like going back to what we said, the stereotype was a single man with kids can be negative. So knowing that her parents accepted her family, not just her parents, they accepted me. I was like, oh, thank you.
Right.
Yeah, because everybody except. I mean, when we come together, like you say, you see the stuff that we post. We come together for everything.
Yes, we do.
I mean, we like to eat, so we don't really need a reason. But
that's it. Yeah, but that's good. That's good memories too.
Oh yeah, we love making memories. So they just they welcome them in with open arms, and everybody's auntie this and cousin that now. So
all right,
that's
see,
awesome.
that's the perfect way to end this for tonight. If we have any questions or comment, now is your time to ask. And what I'm going to do is take this last bit of time I want y'all to tell the world a little bit about Express Yourself and what it's all about. And I know you got some merch, don't you? Do you have some merchandise?
I have some.
I mean, if so, it was just, if you wanted to put it, show it.
Tell us about what y'all have going on, websites. You have an upcoming event that's going to be coming up. So just tell people about you and how they can get more information.
So Expressions LLC is our business, and we are a performing arts business. So live music, spoken word. You all know, y'all have seen it. Y'all have helped us host it here. We've used your facility, which we're very grateful for. So poetry and spoken word. We've had some people dance. We've had a mime. I'm expecting so much more.
Yes.
We're still pretty new. We haven't even been in it for a whole year yet.
Right.
It'll be coming up a year this summer.
Won't it?
Yeah, a whole year.
It'll be coming up a year this summer. So I still think about it like sometimes like, wow, we got a business. Like we actually have a business.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, if y'all are looking for something to do that's just fun, you want to be a part of this. Because we have had some fun. I mean, we have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I think the last time that you guys did one, it was something. Were we out of town or something?
Yes.
Where we wasn't okay?
Yep.
But I think were we at the beach or the mountain? It was either the beach or the mountains. One of the two.
I feel like it's the mountains. I don't know.
Okay,
I don't want to lie up here.
Yeah, we definitely want to.
They be rolling, y'all.
Yeah. So we our next event is coming up at the end of April. The tentative address, we'll put that out soon, but it'll be in Greensboro. And if you're an artist
Yeah, throw it out there.
and you want to express yourself, come on out. You can always
You
look
can't
us
even
up.
say it without doing
I
your hook.
can't.
He's about to sing the song.
So yeah, we're always looking for artists to come out to perform. If you rap, you sing, you dance, whatever it is that you do. We have live painters.
Food.
Yes,
My
we
phone
have. Yes, we have food.
Yeah.
We have caterers that come out and do their thing. So Expressions with an X, LLC.org is our website. You can look that up. And there's also a form there. So if you want to be a part of a live event, we also have vendors that come out. Apostle Tracy is a vendor. So if you have a business, you got products and things like that. We have products, and my husband has some shirts in his hand. And for some reason,
Hey, we want y'all to. Hey,
We try to
that
give
he
it to
wants
you.
to. Yeah.
where can they find you on your social sites, on Facebook and
We're on
Instagram?
Facebook and Instagram. We're also on YouTube. So we're trying to get more traffic over to the YouTube channel
Yes.
as well. But
Right,
um,
that is
Facebook
hard.
and yeah,
That's
yeah,
hard.
we're still growing. We're still growing. So
I'm so happy for y'all.
We're
What's the
excited.
handle, babe? The handles for
everything is Expressions with an X, LLC.
so
Yeah.
expressions with the X. We just want to make sure we clarify that it's with an
Mhm.
X.
So
It-
no E.
yeah.
It's not E.
it
X,
have you
it's just
somewhere
X.
else that we don't want you to be. We want you
Right,
to be
right.
Yes.
Hey, ministry is ministry, but business is business.
Yes. Yes.
I want to show off what you got.
Yeah, so this is one of
tired
our
leaning, trying to see.
yeah,
I wanna
oh my bad.
Oh, I haven't
So
seen that
this is one of
shirt.
our
Ooh.
newest items. Yeah, just this was Black History Month, like gear. It's gear for Black History. But I really like the colors because
I might have to take that off your
hands.
hands before you leave.
Yeah, well,
All right,
so
we'll
yeah,
talk.
this is one of we have these in different colors, not just black and not just black, but we also have them in white and gold.
But these right now are in black.
Right. Yeah. So this
Base
is in
color.
black and this in the color, but then we have the same
White
thing
shirt.
in white. Right. And we definitely threw a A&T navy blue or blue and gold one. So in the mix of Aggie pride to all my Aggies out here. I don't. It's in the Jeep. But yeah. So we also have some water. We have
You got
tumblers.
Tiara says she want one.
Yeah, we have some tumblers and some water bottles. And I'm gonna throw a plug out here. This is Also Matter. This is an original concept. And I came up with this because I just feel like if we can all just realize that everybody has a soul and everybody is important to not only to each other but to God, then we wouldn't have all this negativity, all the drama, all the back and forth that we see in the world now. But also matters. Excuse me. Is one of our what do you call it? Just one of our phrases. Yes. So
Okay.
expressions. Express yourself.
So
Express
what are your
yourself.
prices, or do they just need to go to your website?
You can go to the website. Everything is on the website. It's also on the Facebook page too. There's a store on Facebook, but again, you can go to expressions with an X, LLC.org. Everything's there. I think the cups and water bottles are $8, and I believe the t-shirts are at $25.
Okay.
And we have more. Like I said, we have a couple of.
Oh, and I
things
think
up
it's
there.
a mask on there at this
Oh yeah,
point
we have
too.
masks. Yep.
I remember the mask.
We got some new
We have some
do
new
you?
masks.
but you have to look at those on the website.
Right.
Okay. That's it. Yeah, we want everybody. Y'all light that website up. Let's get her numbers and support up. And Bay, you got a business. You want to tell everybody about your business?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, a lot of some of our funds has gone into that direction. I'm just like another
Yeah.
pocketbook.
Oh, I'm sure a
Well,
lot,
thank you
of,
for
a
my
lot
bag,
of
though.
husbands
Thank you
hear
for my
that.
bag. I appreciate the
Oh,
book bag. The
awesome.
book bag. Yeah, I love it.
Oh,
Love the
good.
book bag.
Awesome. I was
Yeah.
thinking about
Nah,
that.
book. It's a book. Excuse me. Book bag and a laptop bag. So it's a
Is it the
double.
one that I got?
It's
It is not.
No,
You
no.
decided you didn't
because you
want that
have a
one.
book bag. This one's a book bag / laptop carrying case.
Okay.
It's dope.
Yes.
Hey,
So
Briefcase.
y'all, the
it's,
world, y'all know she got
Briefcase.
some good stuff because
Yeah.
the men over here talking
Yeah,
about
I
what
know.
we got.
And the bracelets too, y'all. The beads.
Nah, I wear those.
The beads.
yes. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me fall back.
Well, look, thank you. That
Right.
definitely speaks volumes. So thank you so much. I am the owner operator of Empress Jewels Boutique and Empress Handbags. I do sell paparazzi accessories. So you can definitely catch me on my Facebook page, Tracy Creft. And you can also catch me on Empress Jewels Boutique and Empress Handbags. So yes, Paparazzi Accessories is $5 bling. Okay, as you can see, we were sporting our earrings and all this you see. So yes, I do lives every week, Mondays and Thursdays. You can catch me at 7 on Mondays and 7 to 8:30 on Thursdays, and then 8:30 for my handbag. So you can definitely catch me on Facebook. I also do in-person shopping. So we are following COVID guidelines. So you are able to come shop. We do sanitize, we do mask, we do a hand sanitizer, we do all that. So you can always hit me up in my inbox, or you can definitely get my phone number, or you can shop my website 24 hours a day, empress-jewels.com. Thank you.
As far as your bags, I want you to take a couple minutes. I know it's time for us to be done. Just take a couple minutes and let people know, because I know from what I understand, I know you are a authorized Nicole Lee dealer, correct?
Yes.
And I know that some people have seen some Nicole Lee in one of these stores. I want you to tell them the difference in what you sell from what they're seeing in these stores.
Okay, so basically with Nicole Lee, she is a designer out of New York, and she has a lower end bag called the Nikki. It's a Nikki collection, and I started selling those bags before the big box stores. Okay. The big box stores are now starting to sell those lower end Nikki bags. I no longer sell those. So I sell the higher end Nicole Lee bags, and they are awesome quality. They are normally vegan leather. They have very intricate detailing, and I am able to sell those at a more discounted rate than what you can get from her directly from her website. So I am an authorized Nicole Lee dealer, and my bags are amazing. And when you get them, you will not see a whole lot of other people carrying them. So yeah.
Right. So listen, y'all, I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. I see that we don't have any questions. Thank you all. You all are phenomenal.
So I got one.
Thanks.
You got a question?
Somebody asked for the book bag. So could you say that again, where they can go to find the book?
The book bags.
Your website?
So basically, I don't have a website up as of yet, because I don't carry large quantities of anything. So what you can do is you can definitely look me up. If you go to Empress, EMPRESS handbags on Facebook, you will see a picture. I don't even know what's on there right now. Give me a second. Let me tell you what's on there. The picture that you're gonna see, because I looked it up before for someone else.
And while
You're going to see a woman in a black box, and she's silhouetted in white. So it's Empress Handbags Boutique. You can actually join that page, and then you can send messages. You can also message me on my personal page, Tracy Kreft, for pictures. I always have pictures available, and I normally post all of my new stock online in my handbag group.
All right. Well, we want to take this time and thank you all for joining us. Please share this this podcast and help us get the word out. And also visit us on our page, Mixing It Up Podcast. We are in the process of doing some things behind the scenes. We're taking this on every major platform. And so if you feel the need that you might want to sow a seed or anything towards that, we're not asking. That's not even what this is about. But if you feel that way, inbox us. You can either inbox me, Marlon E. Kraft Senior, in that name my page. I got like 3.
I know. I was trying to tag you, and I was like, I can't find them.
Yeah, because
And then I saw your post tonight, and I was like, oh, it says Mr. Kraft.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, you talking about Instagram?
Instagram.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was the one. on
Well, because I have
Instagram.
2 pages on Instagram. I have a King's Cuts page because most of you all know I do cut hair. Everybody keep me lifted. I have a few more months left, and I will be graduating from Winston-Salem Barber School.
Yes.
Yeah, so just keep me in lifted. I got that state board coming up. It's a little
Mhm.
anxiety there, but hey, I'm either
I
gonna pass it or
gotcha.
fail it. One or
Gotcha,
two, and I'm not
gotcha.
receiving failing.
I know that's
So we
right.
thank you all. Continue to support. Go and follow this awesome couple. Look them up. She gave all the information. If you can't remember it, just replay this and rewind it back.
I know that's right. Play it again and again.
That's it. Build our numbers up. And we thank you for being with us. Until then, y'all have a wonderful evening.